I totally, I cannot tell you. Judy, I can't believe you're here. I'm getting choked up. I know. And you, Steve. I mean, honestly. Okay, okay. Get a grip, get a hold of yourself. There's an audience in front of you. Stop. Judy knew me when I was an undergrad at the University of Texas at Austin. When I was taking my first steps towards, the school was what it was. God bless. Okay, and I'm not gonna.
Breakfast tacos.
Oh, yeah. Samosas. 2 for $1. I lived on those. Yeah, I ate those breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But, they didn't always have room for me when it came time to cast things at the school, and we'll just put it that way. And so I would have to go into the city and audition, and that's when I met Judy and Boyd Vance, and we did all of these Black, Black, Blackity Black productions that just turned everything upside down, did we not? And that was when I cut my teeth as a performer. That's when I thought, oh my gosh, I can actually get on stage and do this. I can really, really do this. And she led the way. She is supreme. You are. And then when I first come to New York and I don't know anybody or anything, I went to the Black Rock Coalition, and there was Steve Williams. And such a booster, such a fan, such a supporter. I love you for my life. I love you like cooked food. I cannot think of any higher praise than that. I can't. Oh my gosh. So I'm a little verklempt. If I get a little emotional, y'all know why. So, before we get started, this is Hilliard Green. And this is Raphael McGregor. So, before we start, I thought that it would be the patriotic thing to do, the right thing to do, to sing the national anthem. Won't you please do what you did in grade school? You know how you got down then. Put your little hand over your little heart. Joe, I'm looking at you. He's got his arms folded. That's why I said that. And sing this with me. You don't really know the words. You pretend to. So let's see how you do. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. That's right, kids. High as the listening skies, let it resound loud as the roaring sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing a rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Thank you. This is your public service announcement from your favorite black feminist, just letting you know that your national anthem that you know and love so much has a verse in it about slavery. And it's actually stolen from an old English drinking song. They didn't even write it. Yeah. Lift Every Voice and Sing was written in 1900 by J. Rosamond Johnson and his brother, James Weldon Johnson, to honor Lincoln's 60th birthday, I believe. And they did it at their school where he was principal in Florida, because Booker T. Washington was coming to speak, and they had all 400 of these beautiful little children singing this song before he took the dais. And they turned it into this hymn that went into every hymnal and every black gathering. Am I right? Hello, everybody. I mean, everybody can tell you. I don't know if everybody can tell you where they learned that song, but they know it. So thank you. Thank you for that. So this first song is called God Don't Never Change. Could you please?
Maybe I should be muted. That might be better.
Oh, Hilliard.
Yeah, I just didn't hear anything on stage, that's all. You use your own discretion.
Just crank it to 11. Let him have it. Both barrels. I love this song. I grew up in the Low Country in South Carolina, and lap steel and sacred steel was just in church. It was common. This is one of my favorite songs to sing. I was raised by my great-grandparents and my grandparents on my mother's side, and I'm 2 generations removed from slavery. So unbeknownst to me, I was singing a lot of songs that I think African captives probably wrote and made up and sang. And, you know, the further away from home you get, the closer to home you get. So I started, you know, I think when my grandmother passed away, I just flipped out and started going all the way back there. So that's why I started singing songs like this. So I hope you like it. He's God. God don't never change. He's God. Always will be God. He's God. God don't never change. He's God. Always will be God. God in the time of creation. God when Adam fell. He's God way up in heaven. He's God way down in hell. He's God. God don't never change. He's God. Always will be God. God spoke to the mountain, said, I'm the great I am. I want you to get up this morning, skip around like a lamb. He's God. God don't never change. He's God. Always will be God. He's God. God don't never change. He's God. Always will be God. God in the time of the sickness. God in the doctor too. time of the great influenza, he surely was a God to you. He's God. God don't never change. He's God. Always will be God. Always will be God. Always will be God. Always will be God. Thank you. So the pandemic happened. I was in residency at Gettysburg for a whole month before they locked down New York. I got back the day they locked everything down. My friend dropped me off. I went to the grocery store and stood in line for 7 hours for 2 bags of groceries. And then we came home and hermetically sealed ourselves in our home, like y'all probably did, fielding all of these phone calls from friends, leaving town. I'm going back to my mama's house. You know, just kind of giving up on the city, and it became a real ghost town for a while, which was good, you know, in a way. I mean, I don't know, you know, do you remember the pictures of LA where the smog just disappeared? So I wrote all of these songs that's gonna be out this fall on this album called Rona. You know, whenever I call home, I'm you know, my family's in Atlanta, they'd always talk about, you know, the pandemic like it was a person. You know, Rona this and Rona that, you know, like they're like in the room with you. Well, you know the Rona, right? You know, black people always, am I wrong? They're always calling something something else. There's another name for everything, right? I'm talking to my friend and she's like, girl, you know I got sugar. I got sugar. Serious. I'm like, no, Jaleesa, I have sugar. You have diabetes. Right? It's always something else. So I was like, okay, I'll call the album Rona. That makes sense. So this song is called When I See You Again. And my husband gave me this ukulele. It's a Martin. It's really cute. And it sat in the corner forever. And then the pandemic happened, and I thought, might as well learn how to play it. It's just sitting there. So all of these songs I wrote on ukulele, I really hope you like them. When I see you again, when I see you again, when I see you again, I know just what I'll do. I'll walk along the way and cross the avenues to you. When I see you again, 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 I know just what we'll do. We'll drink some sunshine and we'll run these streets like we used to do. When I see you again, after the Rona turns the whole world upside down, you know I'm down. I'll be there, won't you? Oh, please don't go without me. Wait for me. wait for me. I miss you so. When can I see you again? When can I see you again? When can I see you? No one seems to have a clue. You're not gone, but you're not really here. There's nothing I can do till I see you again. Oh, I don't know if I can come around. You know I'm down. I'll be there, won't you? Oh, please don't go without me. Wait for me. I love you so. Wait for me. I miss you so. Wait for me. I love you so. Thank you. That was so good. This is Where is Home? Everybody just left town. They left like rats from a sinking ship. So these songs are super new, you guys. So if I don't remember them, don't shoot me. Or, I mean, aim high. I don't know. Don't miss. You know, don't miss. What?
You said aim high to the bass player
Oh.
who doesn't know the songs either.
Right. The last album I did, Gild The Black Lily. Right on. Okay. Thank you. My grandmother died, and I flipped out, and I thought, that's what the album should be called. I miss my grandma. You know what that feels like. She was my little confidant, and I felt like I didn't have anybody to talk to when she passed away. So home became this very strange thing. Anyway, like, I was rudderless for a minute there. Everybody lost so many people during the pandemic, right? It's still going on. It's still happening. We need a moment to grieve. Maybe that's why I wrote all this. Anyway, this song's called Where is Home? Home, where is home? Oh, I'm so alone. I don't know where my heart will stay now that you've up and flown away to a home that's waiting for me while reality sedates me. I'm sleepwalking on the run, dreaming of home. Home, where is home? When everyone packs their things and goes to a place they've always known as home. This was your home. Now it's empty as all get out. Everyone gets out and leaves here. The dream is now a nightmare screaming softly in the sun. We're all just trying to get home. know where my heart will stay now that you've up and flown away to a home that's waiting for me while reality sedates me. I'm sleepwalking on the run, dreaming of home. Dreaming of home. Thank you. Speaking of my grandmother, here's a song that we used to sing in church a lot when I was a little kid. You know the kind of church I'm talking about? It's just one room. There's a bass drum at one end. Maybe there's a piano, but there's always steel. Oh yeah, you can sing with me. Tell me who's that riding, John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding, John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding, John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seals. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Wrote the book of the seven seals. Now God stepped out in the cool of the day, called Adam by his name. But Adam wouldn't answer, 'cause he was naked and ashamed. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Wrote the book of the seven seals. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Wrote the book of the seven seals. Now Christ had 12 apostles. 3 he led away. He said, watch with me while I go up yonder and pray. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Wrote the book of the seven seals. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Wrote the book of the seven seals. Now Christ rose on Easter morning. Mary and Martha went down to see. He said, go and tell my apostles to meet me in Galilee. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Wrote the book of the seven seals. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Tell me who's that riding. Wrote the book of the seven seals. Thank you. Alcohol, yeah. That's my girl, Lizzie. Wow. And now for the pause that refreshes. I was talking to a friend of mine about the massacre at Ebenezer Creek. Do y'all know what that is? Yes. I got a yes? Thank you. Okay. Well, I want to tell you what this is. When I was in Gettysburg, I went to Gettysburg for a month. I encourage all of you that are artists to apply. The National Park Service has artist residencies in every single park. I know, Death Valley, Dry Tortugas, Hawaii. Lizzie, you can go there. They have a house. They had a house for me. They give you money. I think the only reason why they weren't defunded was because Trump didn't know about it. It's the truth. It's the truth. So I did a lot of reading and a lot of research, and I thought, I want to be the change. I think there's a lot of lost American history. I call it lost America, but it really is just the stuff that we should all know. So, yeah. And, kudos to Jalopy for not cutting off my mic when I tell stories like this, because it's really creepy, disturbing stuff. Hey, give me some background music that's creepy and disturbing. Come on. He knows what I want. It's a living podcast, right? You know about Sherman, William Tecumseh Sherman. He was the only general that had the balls, the wherewithal to go down south and attack the South. The rest of them didn't want to do it. His march to the sea through Atlanta was really important because that's where they built their munitions, their bread. It was the source. But Sherman did something unusual with this march. He brought the war to the people. That had never happened before. You could read about it in the paper, you could hear about it from a neighbor, but he wanted them to feel it. He wanted to make Georgia howl. This fire that he set was, in some places, 12 miles long. That is as long as Manhattan. In some places, 40 miles long. And it just moved, and destroyed everything in its wake. Houses, farmland, with soldiers pillaging along the way. White people thought that he was the devil himself. They really believed that. Well, the African captives thought this is a moment. And they escaped and got right behind the fire, close enough to not get burned and to not get captured. Men, women, children, babies, whole families, by the thousands, right behind this fire as they moved along. It became this horde. And Sherman, he's my historical hottie, I have to confess. That's bad, right? But he was a virulent racist. He really, really was. In his memoirs, in his book, he says that, the army is for white soldiers. They didn't really believe that black men could be courageous and valiant. He subscribed to that. It broke my heart when I read it, and then after this campaign, what did he do? He goes west and starts slaughtering Native Americans. But while he's burning everything down and the black folk are following him, he's trying to figure out a way to get rid of them. And he comes up with it when they get to Ebenezer Creek, close to Savannah. They had to cross this impasse, and so they decided to tell all the black folk, there's fighting up ahead. So we have to go ahead of you and clear the way to make sure that it's cool. So they said, okay. So they crossed with everything, with equipment, with munitions, with horses. And this is the Washington Post telling this. I want to read an account to you of what this soldier says happened. December the 9th, 1864. on the pretense that there was likely to be fighting in front. The Negroes were told not to go upon the pontoon bridge until all the troops and wagons were over. A guard was detailed to enforce the order, recalled Colonel Charles Kerr of the 16th Illinois Cavalry in a speech 20 years after the incident. As soon as we were over the creek, orders were given to the engineers to take up the pontoons and not let a Negro cross. I sat upon my horse then and witnessed a scene the like of which I pray my eyes may never see again. Just before sunrise, the refugees cried out as their escape route was pulled away from them. Moments later, Wheeler's scouts rode up from behind and opened fire. Thousands of refugees rushed forward into the icy current. Several Union soldiers on the eastern bank tried to help, pushing logs out to the few refugees still swimming. They literally mowed down all of these people. They slaughtered them all. I can't even imagine. I mean, you go to these places, you stand on the bank of the river and you try to imagine what this was like. You put yourself in their place. It's just, I don't know. I'm aghast. This is a horror, the horror of it. America was never great. So, by the time he got to Savannah, there was such a public outcry from people who were actually straight up racist, were like, this ain't right. So they gathered these black ministers and these generals. They all sat down at a table in Savannah, which was a big deal because you as a white man sitting down at a table with black people, with black men, meant that you were seeing them as your equal. So this was unprecedented. This was a very big deal. And Sherman said, what do you want? What do you want? And they said, we want our freedom. We want land. And we want to educate our children. That's what we want. So what did Sherman do? Sherman went to these landowners, former slave owners in Savannah, and he parceled out land for all of them, 40 acres and a mule. They called it Sherman's Acres, and he gave them to these people to farm, to own, to have. And those slave owners were paid reparations, believe it or not. And everything was fine. Sherman continued his march to Charleston, South Carolina, to the sea. And these black farmers thought, here's a new beginning, until Lincoln died. Johnson said, oh, we'll have none of that. And they took the land back. They took it all back. And that is the story of Ebenezer Creek. That is just one of many massacres that they don't tell anybody about. I think I knew about that because, well, I'm always reading a history book. But I'm from the South. We talk about these things. My father was born in 1917. We talk about these things. My mother taught me how to read when I was 3. So I was always on the other side of the library reading these things. You can't change something until you face it. So these communal history lessons are everything to me. We should all be learning about this stuff and sharing this information. And that concludes our story time for today. I'm bad. So now I'm going to sing you my Gettysburg song. This house that I was in was built in the 1850s. and it was sitting in the middle of the battlefield near the wheat field. Wheat field, I could have thrown a rock and hit it. This was where some of the fiercest fighting happened. They say that once the smoke cleared, you could walk from one end of the field to the other and your feet would never touch the ground because it was piled so high with bodies. Please understand, these soldiers didn't die because they got shot and then they died. They died because they got shot and they were wounded and they just laid there because nobody came and got them, and they got infected, and they were in the muck and in the sun, and they couldn't move, and they weakened, and then they died. It was some kind of agony. How did they sort the bodies? How could they tell who was who if they were blown to smithereens? Their underwear. Yeah. Yankees wore wool. Southerners wore cotton. I'm not even kidding. Isn't that wild? Your underwear. The house was nice. Don't get me wrong. They refurbished it. You know, I had a stainless steel fridge. Don't think I was in some cabin in the sky. It wasn't like that, right? I had a washer, dryer, and it was nice. It was really nice. But I could not shake the sensation that I was not alone. It felt like, you know what it felt like? It felt like someone was in the other room. You know how you have a roommate and you come home and you throw your keys down and you think, oh yeah, Bob's home. It just feels like he's there. And in a minute he walks in, hey, you know, how's it going? But it feels like he's in there. That's exactly what it felt like. It felt like Bob was in the other room. I wondered about that. I wondered if the soldiers would like me. You know, I mean, I am a Negro. You never know. I didn't know who was on my porch. A lot of times I would open the door and stand on the porch, and it just felt like I was in the upside down place, especially if there was no moon, because there's no street lights out there, there's nothing. I should have gotten a clue when I was in a cafe in the city, in the little hamlet, and I stayed too long and I needed an Uber home, and no Uber driver would take me. Guys with hair on their back talking about, where do you want to go? You want to go where? Are you sure? One of them even said that it was irresponsible of the Park Service to have me out there. Not that somebody would come out there and do anything to me, but that I was out there with all of those ghosts. It is understood that it is haunted, and it is creeptastic. I remember someone loaned me a bicycle, and I can remember riding against the sunset, trying to get back because it's like you're walking through the color black when you're out there, unless the moon is shining or unless there are stars. I should have known you then to like have the kids over and stuff. It would have been. Anyway, this song is about. So I wandered all over the battlefield and I wrote songs about different parts of the battlefield that I thought were cool. So this is about Iverson's Pits. Basically, this regiment from North Carolina thought they were going to get the jump on these Yankees from New York, and they came around the corner and all of them got mowed down at once, all in one fell swoop. And they just left their bodies there and planted right over them. You know, this patch of the wheat field is especially good, especially rich, because it's growing through their bodies. I mean, the peaches that they grow, they still let you, if you go there in season, they let you pick a peck and take those home with you. Please don't do that. Because, I mean, it's like CSI Miami when you're out there. You know what I mean? If you splay, we've all seen those episodes where the guy's like, all right, well, just come in here with the luminol. And they spray it and it just lights up like a Christmas tree, right? They're like, a murder occurred here. This is where they probably killed Susan. You know what I mean? That's what that is. It's just an open graveyard. Yeah. Good times. Good times. So this song is called I Feel So Alive. And like I said, this is, I got a grant from the New York City Women's Fund. So I'm gonna get to record these Gettysburg songs, and you really should. Yeah, next week we're going into the studio with these fine gentlemen. So I hope you like this song. This is called "I Feel So Alive," because I feel like at that very moment when they came around that corner with their rebel yell is when they were shot down. And they could see it. They could see it coming. So I hope you like this. Well, you come to see me as I lay on my deathbed, headed to my grave. My soul the Lord will save. Come to me in this great big field of desecration. Sun is high, but it's so dark. All I see is desolation, and I feel your love come upon me from on high. As death comes to take me, I feel so alive. Come to me, lover, as I hang my head down low, buried in the muck, and I'm breathing awful slow. Lay down in this great big open bloody creek nearby. Hold my hand as I go to that sweet by and by, and I feel your love come upon me from on high. As death comes to take me, I feel so alive. As death comes to take me, I feel so alive. Oh, I can feel your love come upon me from on high. As death comes to take me, I feel so alive. Thank you so much. Raphael McGregor. That's my time. Come on. Oh, well, you know I could go all night. That was Stephen. You and me. All right, this is a good night song. Stephen, if you remember correctly, I used to sing this to you. You don't remember. Stephen gave me the best memory the last time I saw him. You remember what that little story you told me? Oh my gosh.
We talked a lot. There were a number of stories.
Okay. So, you know, Southerners, we tend to be family to each other.
You mean the James Blood?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Okay, I'm going to tell it. Because we're all family here. Y'all don't care. What? Okay, and this is Blood's favorite song for me to sing too. I don't know why, but okay. So we were hanging out in Union Square, and I just looked up and said, I want to go to Blood's house. James Blood Ulmer, harmonic guitarist. A friend of mine was like, man, that's like going to Miles Davis' house. But Judy, he's folks. He would love you. He's from St. Matthews, South Carolina. When I would introduce him to my friends, none of them could understand what he was saying. And so I would have to finish whatever he was saying, like, and you like going out to, you know, to Brooklyn, you live it because you live there. And I have to finish it so that they could answer him. Otherwise, he'd be like, well, she would just, who was that? You're a child talking to me. It's like, okay. And start cussing everybody out, right? He's like that uncle who comes to the barbecue and nobody understands what he's saying. Y'all know. So there we were at James Blood Ulmer's house, and it's huge. It's in Soho. We went up the stairs and we went in there, and I'm hanging out and stuff. And Steve said he was vibing him the whole time, hardcore, like looking at him like giving him the evil eye. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back. And as soon as he steps out, Blood goes, are y'all fucking? Don't you lie to me. I know it. I know you having sex with him. Troll me. He's like my New York daddy. I'm like, no, we're not. He's gay. He's gay and right. He's so gay. He didn't believe me, but I think it's because he sensed the love. He knew that I loved you.
It was a lovely day, but he scared the hell out of me. I'm 16 years old. This happened about 40 years ago, and I'm still afraid of that man.
Have you seen him since?
No.
Okay. Well, I used to skip to Malou over to his house all the time. All the time. When I first came to New York, oh, this is terrible. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just yammering. You guys, do you want me to tell you what happened? Yeah. All right, because I'll tell you what happened. Esteban, you know I will. I'll let it out. I don't care. All right, so I would just put on a nice dress, and I had my little, you know, cassette tape with my name on it, and my little picture, and I'm a blues singer, and I'd go and give that to people. What? I'm sure people thought I was crazy. I went up to the old knitting factory to see Sonny Chirac. I know. That was my goal. I wanted to meet him. Space Ghost, Coast to Coast. He wrote the theme song for that, the cartoon. Right? You know? So I thought, I got all dressed up. I went upstairs, and James Blood Ulmer was up there. The show had already started. And we got to carrying on. I missed meeting him. I missed my Sonny Chirac moment. And I thought, oh, God. Right? Fred Elias was up there with him, and Reverend Bruce, and I'm like, okay. So Blood goes, well, let me give you a ride home. He had this Lincoln, like old school Lincoln. Like it was like driving a couch. And we're driving uptown on the west side. We stopped at M&G Soul Food and had grits and salmon croquettes. If he was in here right now, he'd tell you, oh my gosh, it was the best place. Had the best jukebox. Did you ever go there? Ah, so good. So good. And the guy that owned it was from South Carolina. So he drops me off at home. You know, I'm living uptown. Thank you so much. Thank you for the ride home. And I told my brother where I was, and he was like, he didn't believe me. He thought I was lying. You hung out with James Blood Ulmer, and y'all had grits? That's like, okay, tell it to, okay, if you don't want to tell me what actually happened, that's fine. It was one of those conversations. I take a shower, I get into bed, the sun's coming up and the phone rings. And you know when the phone rings that early, you have to answer it. If you're from the South, somebody died. I picked up the phone and it was Blood, and he had my little cassette turned all the way up to 11, and he was screaming in the phone, you can sing! You can really, really sing! And I thought, I told you I could sing. He's like, yeah, everybody says they can sing. But you can really sing. He's like, I want you to come over tomorrow. You know, we're gonna get everything straight. And 2 weeks later, I was in Istanbul with him at a festival. Like every other week, I would be in some other part of the world with him for like a week or two. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. One day temping, the next day, thank you very much! Thank you! Thank you so much. What is my life? That went on for years. Years. I can't even tell you. He would send me out on stage. He called me a harmonic vocalist, and I would always sing this a cappella. But if you guys would join me, I would love it. Yes. G is in gotcha. Gotcha. I always wore gowns when I would sing when I was in Europe because I thought, well, these people don't know what a Negro looks like. So I better show them my elegant best. I remember checking into some hotel, and they had Fred Sanford on. In German. Frightening. This scared me. Because they were trying to talk like black people in German. And all those inflections. Oh my gosh, I almost threw the television out the window. Oh God, I should write a book. Stop it. Don't.
My memoirs?
I might. You know, it could be like, this is stranger than fiction, and we could just make stuff up even. Anyway, I hope you like this song. And now the purple dusk of twilight time steals along the meadow of my heart. High on a hill, the little stars climb, always reminding me that we're apart. You wandered down the lane and far away, leaving me a song that will not die. Love is now the stardust of yesterday, the music of the years gone by. Sometimes I wonder why I spend the lonely nights dreaming of a song. The melody haunts my reverie, and once again I am with you. When our love was new, and each kiss an inspiration. Long ago. Now my consolation is in the stardust of a song beside I dream in vain. In my heart it will remain a stardust melody, a memory of love's refrain. Beside a garden wall where stars are bright, you are in my arms. The nightingale tells his fairy tale of paradise where roses bloom. Though I dream in vain, in my heart it will remain a stardust melody, a memory of love's Thank you so much for coming. Raphael McGregor. Julia Green. Come on. Thank you so much for coming out. Get up here.
bottles in the yard never steal my mind again. Like old ties and companions, just sitting on the fence. The tunes we've carried through the years will change, and man, it's just enough to keep these ghosts around those haunted feet. Old ties and companions, you and I were just passing through. It's 100,000 miles along the track, holding back tomorrow. Someday I'll hop along and ride it home. But old ties and companions, we never leave alone. So old man, give me in this time, never let the
Well, I found my little chord. I wanted. I'm on a tour right now, and I was coming to New York, and I wanted some black girl magic on stage with me when I was doing it, and so I reached out to Holly G, who is the founder of Black Opry. And I was like, who in New York? Who am I calling? She said, Lizzie and Queen Esther. And I got them both. And it is just, I mean, I am just grinning ear to ear of how incredible it is to be on the stage after the magic that you just created up here. So thank you so much for blessing this stage. And I'm a little nervous now. I'm like, shoot, I should have gone first. Because I'm just traveling by myself. This is my first solo tour ever. Yep, and my first time playing in New York. So very exciting. But, you know, I think something about this tour being, you know, a solo tour. My mom's been with me on some of it. There's the ups and downs, but it's very real, you know. There's you leave things on airplanes, you step in dog poop, you know, all the lows and the highs, but it's all very real. So I thought, you know what, I might not have a band with me right now, but I'm gonna be able to perform the songs as I wrote them, which I'm really excited to do. So I hope you like them, and yeah, I'll shut up and get started. I got mixed feelings, got mixed feelings. I got mixed feelings, got mixed feelings. I take up space when I walk in a room. This skin, this hair, I got 'em all confused, try to box me in. Where are you really from? Who's your mom? Who's your dad? Don't look like either one. I'm not a game. 20 questions can't solve me. Not a puzzle, it's just my family. Making waves where these waves is a blessing. But sometimes all I want is to fit in. I got mixed feelings, got mixed feelings. I got mixed feelings, got mixed feelings. Ba-da-da-da, 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 ba-da-da-da. Some days I shine, melanin glow, big hair, big smile, black magic show. Next day I'm flat like my day 3 curls. Tired of standing now while I'm walking through the world. But you're so bold, so brave in your own skin. People tell me when I'm just living, making waves where these waves is a blessing. But sometimes all I want is to fit in. I got mixed feelings, got mixed feelings. I got mixed feelings, got mixed feelings. Ba-da-da-da, 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 ba-da-da-da. More hair, more stairs, more love, more life, more trials, more love. More hair, more stairs, more love, more life, more trials, more love. 'Cause I got mixed feelings, got mixed feelings. I got mixed feelings, got mixed feelings. Ba-da-da-da, 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 ba-da, ba-da-da-da, 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 ba-da, ba-da-da-da. Thank you. Thank you. I like to say, imagine that with like a horn section. You know, that's what I originally had thought in my head, but I'm like, you know, I'll just say, thank you. No, that song came out, of, I moved to Nashville about 3 years ago, which I absolutely loved, love it there. But at first it was very weird to me because I would like write songs just about my like life and experience, and people would be like, wow, that's so crazy. And I'm just like you're so bold. And I'm like, I don't know, I just wrote about my life. Like, it was weird. So that's kind of how that song came about, because I was like, I had all these mixed emotions of just being like, I mean, so happy to be like in my own skin and who I am. But then like doing that was like controversial to some people. I was just like, this is so confusing. So that's kind of how that song Mixed Feelings came about. I kind of changed up a little bit of the order of my set list. I usually do that often in shows of like just being inspired of what I'd seen before. And I think Queen Esther saying that sometimes it takes you going far away from home to find your home reminded me of this. It really resonated with me because of this song of mine called Take Me Home. And I wrote it about 5 or 6 years ago with a good friend of mine, Sarah Shimbaza. And at that time I was away in college. I was always that girl. I grew up in Florida, and I just wanted to get the hell out of Florida. I was like, get me out of here. These people are crazy. I gotta go. But it took me leaving, and being away from home to really understand and appreciate the home that I have, and especially after the past few years where a lot of people don't have the same home to come home to, or thinking of refugees in Ukraine and all over the world, of people that lose their home, what it means to really be able to go home, and the privilege that is, and just what is home to people. I mean, this whole as the 6 years have gone since the song is written, it's changed its meaning for me. I don't know, I hope if any of you might hear yourself in this song as well. It's called Take Me Home. We haven't been here for a while, as you can see. Dust clinging to the table where we used to eat. These floors strained with every step, threatening to break. Sunlight casting shadows as we walk across this place. But for a moment, these walls feel like home. A memory of memories, fragile and old. Take me home. For the first time in a while, I spent years living, daydreaming how it should have been. Take me home. I'll run my fingers down the side, 'cause in years of living I've forgiven the cracks saw as a child. Take me home. Oh, whoa. Take me home. In the closet I found pictures that never had a place, full of crooked smiles and half-open eyes, taken as we looked away. But in this moment, can't see our mistakes, just a memory of memories living on a page. Take me home. For the first time in a while, I spent years living, daydreaming how it should have been. Take me home. I'll run my fingers down the side, 'cause in years of living I've forgiven the cracks saw as a child. Take me home. Oh, whoa. Take me home. I turned to leave, but your shadow kept following me down the street. As the sun went down, rolled up my window, but couldn't let go. I couldn't leave. Take me home. For the first time in a while, I spent years living, daydreaming how it should have been. Take me home. I'll run my fingers down the side, 'Cause in years of living, I've forgiven the cracks saw as a child. Take me home. Oh, whoa. Take me home. Thank you. That one was Take Me Home. That was the first ever song that I put out. Back when I was a pub pol major in college, and I wasn't studying music or anything, and then my senior year, I'm like, parents, just kidding. I'm moving to Nashville. But I always thought those two things are very separate. I think something that drove me to want to work in public policy and work for nonprofits and everything was about impact. I wanted the energy that I put forth during the day, the actions that I put forth during the day, I wanted them to make somebody else's life better, and just whatever that meant. I think that's always something that guided me. And that was what drove me in what I studied. But then I always did music, and I think I always saw those two things as separate. And recently, I realized that they're not. I think as artists, we have this incredible power to tell stories that people can maybe hear themselves in a way that they haven't before, or they can understand, maybe start to understand or imagine what life is like in another person's shoes. I mean, I was hearing Queen Esther talk, I'm like, I'm on the battlefield in Gettysburg. Like, I'm alive. And I think that is an incredible power. So that's something that guides my songwriting is, I don't know, trying to write something a little brave. So this is one of those songs. I wrote this song at a songwriter's retreat, actually. But the inspiration from it came before. I've had many times walking down the streets of Nashville with my guitar on my back. Maybe imagine yourself walking through the streets of New York, and there's some dude that has to hoot and holler and say something to make you feel uncomfortable. I know, it's a horrible thing that probably most of the women in this audience have had to face. And I remember just having a conversation with Roberta, actually, who's also in Black Opry. And we were talking about, we're like, do those men need to do that to feel strong, feel like, oh, I'm a manly man. That's what I have to do to prove to myself that I'm a man. Because the strong men in my life don't have to make women feel uncomfortable to feel like they're a man. Yeah. And I know. It's sadly something that we have to deal with. So the word strong man was really on my mind when I went into this retreat. And so then this is a song that came out of it. It's called Strong Man. Standing alone outside the bar, boots on the pavement, chirping the birdies as they walk by, as if he could tame them. Tipping his bottle back for the last drop, staring at stars that see through his facade. A drunk man with wandering hands that thinks he's God. Look at that strong man. Do you feel tall, man? On top of it all, man, come down. Look at that strong man. Winner takes all, man. Who cares who falls, man? Come down. Says he's all for women having their own choices. Cracks a joke about how he's not like the other boys. Do you open your mouth just to make noise? Does what I say sound better in your voice? Making revisions of women's visions and thinking he's God. Look at that strong man. Do you feel tall, man? On top of it all, man, come down. Look at that strong man. Winner takes all, man. Who cares who falls, man? Come down. sneaking out the side door, leaving after the conquest. She was still asleep in her clothes when you got dressed. The whiskey you drank didn't excuse, and the skirt she wore didn't invite you. In the trial you stand without consequence, and she's ruined. Look at that strong man. Do you feel tall, man? On top of it all, look at that strong man. Winner takes all, man. Who cares who falls, man? Come down. Oh, come down. Oh, come down. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. That one's strong, man. It's new, very new. This next one I'm gonna do, this was another one that I was just like, I was just inspired to change it up. After hearing the awesome bass that was up here, I was so jealous. I'm like, oh man, I wish I could play the bass. But then I remember that the first song I ever learned how to play on guitar, I learned it because it was just the bass line. Like it was just the bass line, and I would play it and feel like a rock star. And it's my mom's one of her favorite ones that I sing. And I know she's watching on the live stream. So hi mom and hi dad who are also watching. So I thought I would do that for you all today. Oh wait, I don't know why. I threw it on the ground dramatically when I needed it. Now I have to tune it again. Anyway, this song is about secret, and it also is a song that my neighbor, I sang it at a block party once, and I was like 14. She was like, "You sound like a woman." So it's my woman song. I don't know. Oh goodness, yeah. You might see what you mean when you hear the lines of the song, and I'm like 14 years old. But anyway. You were from the north, I was from the south. We were from a bus of places, different towns. But I knew it was good and you knew it was too. And so we moved together like a ball and chain. Minds become two halves of the same. It was real, but in the shadows it grew. And you've got a secret, don't you, babe? I would have shouted aloud and broken through. I would have given it all to belong to you. But there were different plans and different rules. You said where I'm from there is a lock and key. If you'll be so kind as to follow me, I will show you the way to the rest of my sins. 'Cause you've got a secret, don't you, babe, you babe? 'Cause you got a secret, don't you, babe? And I should have known. And I should have known. Oh, well, the room was damp where sins lay. There was a smell in the air of an old place that hadn't seen much daylight in years. Then you threw me down, said if you don't mind, I'm gonna leave you here until nighttime. Then we can do what we want, my baby, out of the spotlight. 'Cause you've got a secret, don't you, baby? 'Cause you got a secret, don't you, baby? And I should know, oh, yeah. And I should know, that I'm the secret of a babe. That I'm your secret of a babe. That I'm your secret on a babe. On a babe. On a babe. That I'm a secret of a babe. That I'm the secret of a babe. That I'm your secret on a babe. On a babe. On a babe. Thank you. Yeah, no, that song hits a little different when you're like, when you're 14 and then when you're like, I'm with somebody who like doesn't want to share me in public. You know what I mean? You like, once you live the story, you like feel it more. This next one I'm gonna do is another one of those brave songs, I guess. It's a song that I wrote with a friend of mine named Brittany Spencer. Have any of y'all heard of her? She's this amazing, amazing black woman in country who, if you have not heard of her, you need to check her out yesterday. She's incredible. And I came to her with this poem that I wrote, actually inspired by events that took place in New York. A few years ago, jazz musician Keon Harold Jr., I think I'm saying is Keon Harold or Harris Jr., incredible jazz musician. Him and his son were in New York at a hotel, and this woman thought that his teenage son, his child, had her phone, and she attacked him and was called like Soho Karen. You might have seen it in things. I'm seeing nods, yeah. And I forget the exact month that was happening, but it was happening in a time when there was lots of things happening, and it was very overwhelming. But it also just sparked some conversations, with my own parents and with other folks of what it means to be a black child in the United States or a child of color. The conversations that parents have to have with their children about that other parents might not have, saying of that you're a child, but there might be people that do not see you as that. They see you as a threat. They see you as something else. And so kind of just with everything going on, this poem really kind of poured out to me as just kind of a whole bunch of stories all in one. And at first it just existed as a poem, but then Brittany and I got together to write, and she's like, what do you want to write about? And I was like, I've got this poem on like a piece of paper. It was like this tiny notebook thing, and I just like handed it to her. I was like, maybe we can make it into a song. And she's like, we're gonna make it into a song. And so this one's called Big Blue House. After school, the kids in my neighborhood went past the blue house straight to the woods. Became pirates, knights and princesses, making worlds only 6-year-olds could. But my daddy never let me walk behind that house. Said it was dangerous for us. There must be big monsters, bears and spiders that can kill you with just one bite. Screaming witches with silver hair, vampires roaming the night. I didn't know that what could kill me wasn't in that haunted hole. It was a white man, big gun, blue house, Dixie flag on his pole. Now I know what Daddy knows. It's not fair that I can't play there just like all of my friends do each day. Cried to Daddy, but he told me no, baby girl, and then just walked away. I can only imagine now how much it hurt to hide his fear, that his precious daughter could be a target around here, because there's big monsters, bears and spiders that can kill you with just one bite. Screaming witches with silver hair, vampires roaming the night. I didn't know that what could kill me wasn't in that haunted hole. It was a white man, big gun, blue house, Dixie flag on his pole. Now I know what Daddy knows. Oh, 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 oh. ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. Daddy taught me everything. He said there's big monsters, bears and spiders that can kill you with just one bite. Screaming witches with silver hair, growing strange fruit in the night. I didn't know that what could kill me wasn't in that haunted hole. It was a white man, big gun, blue house, Dixie flag on his pole. Now I know what Daddy knows. Now I know what Daddy knows. Now I know what Daddy knows. Thank you. That one's Big Blue House. That's one of those ones that I choose my audience when I do the song. You know, there's some places where, you know, you never know what people, some people are crazy out there. Especially in Florida. Any Floridians in the house? Okay, I see 1, 2. I'm gonna count you guys. Over here are my family friends that I knew lived when we were like 3 years old. I miss Deirdre. It's so awesome seeing you all here today. You probably saw many, many concerts of the two of us like performing a Britney Spears song in your living room. So we've come a long way from those. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. So about 1.5 years ago, I went through a pretty bad breakup. I'm just putting on the floor again. I need it still. With a person that I was dating for almost 6 years, which is a long time. And it's tough, when you really dream and plan your life around one person. And it's especially hard when you break up in an amicable way, so you can't hate them. Like, I'm like, oh, it would be so much easier if I could hate you. And write a song about, like, slashing your tires and breaking your windows and stuff. But that's not how it went down. And I feel like that's how it sometimes happens in life, where that person can be perfect. They can be a Mr. Right, but they can be the wrong Mr. Right for you. So this was the first song that I wrote after we broke up. But it then took me a while to like actually start being able to sing it without crying. So I'm now at that place a year and a half later. I know. I'm single and ready to mingle. So now I'm like, okay, I'll bring the song out now. Hopefully he's not watching the live stream. Anyway, this is Wrong, Mr. Right. My mom and dad loved him, and he loved him too. He was 4 inches taller than me when I wore high-heeled shoes. Real easy to live with. We never fought much. Liked all of the same TV shows. He made the perfect +1. He's somebody's someone. He just isn't mine. I can't go on forever and ever, trying to force the stars to align. It just makes it worse. No bridges were burned. I wish I could, but I can't hate that man if I try. He's just the wrong Mr. Right. I'm scared that he'll move on. I'm scared that I won't. I'm scared I'll regret my decision of letting him go. My mom always told me, hi Mom, you'll know when you know. But if knowing's a feeling, I got a feeling I don't. He's somebody's someone. He just isn't mine. I can't go on forever and ever, trying to force the stars to align. It just makes it worse. No bridges were burned. Wish I could, but I can't hate that man if I try. He's just the wrong Mr. Right. I bet he'll find a girl. I bet she'll treat him good. I bet she'll give him all the things that I still wish I could. But I know he's somebody's someone. He just isn't mine. I can't go on forever and ever, trying to force the stars to align. It just makes it worse. No bridges were burned. Wish I could, but I can't hate that man if I try. He's just the wrong Mr. Right. He's just the wrong Mr. Right. Wrong Mr. Right. I know. Even though I can sing it now, I still mess up. I think it's him somewhere in the atmosphere being like, you're still so sad about this. And I am. Okay, I'm going to do one more up here before I have a special surprise for you all. Not giving it away. Before I do that, I just want to, once again say just how grateful I am to be here in front of such an incredible audience as yourself. This place is magical. This Jalopy Theater, it's my first time here, and it's just, I don't know. It's so special being up here with friends, old and new, in like a flowy pantsuit situation. Like, I feel like a superstar, you know? It's so fun. And there are lights around. I remember coming to New York for the first time, and we saw Chitty Chitty Bang Bang on Broadway. I don't know if y'all remember the movie. That shit was scary. Like, the kid catcher, oh my gosh. And he came down through the audience, and I was screaming. But it was terrifying. But yeah, y'all saw that movie, right? The kid catcher. All that stuff was scary. Kids shows are actually very terrifying. But so I remember, seeing that show, and at that time I was like, I'm gonna be on Broadway. But just having dreams and visions of being a performer in the city, of getting to perform and sing. And now I'm here singing songs that I wrote on stage in front of people. It's absolutely crazy, and I am just so thankful to be up here. Thank you. And I'm very thankful to Black Opry for making this happen. Raise your hand if you know what Black Opry is. Okay, we've got some peeps who know, peeps who don't. So Black Opry is a collective of Black artists in country, Americana, roots, blues, folk, really all the genres that we started, but that aren't often, representing us. And it's a collective of amazing artists, so started by an amazing person named Holly G, as well with Tanner, and they create a space for us to meet each other, to perform with each other, a space for audiences that might not have seen themselves in country music or thought that it was a space for them to come and feel comfortable and hear stories, and just to create a community and just amazing space. And if anyone has been to a Black Opry show, you know exactly what I'm talking about, or have been on stage at a Black Opry show. Lizzie just played Newport Folk Festival, and if y'all need to see the videos, it's just magical of what y'all did up there. And as you said, Black Opry's coming for everything and everyone. So watch out, y'all. We're coming, and that's how I got to know these amazing people. And I like to think that this song is kind of what helped maybe Holly find me, to then find the Black Opry. It's really the song that kind of changed everything for me. It's a song about these curls on my head that I absolutely love now. They make me who I am. But growing up, some people made me feel like I shouldn't love them, and I shouldn't love myself as myself. And it took me many years to learn to love my hair and myself with it. And I feel like there might be some of y'all out here have had a similar journey, or yes, exactly, yes, a similar journey, or another journey for whatever that was for you, that someone made you feel not beautiful or not worthy because of the things that make you incredible. And so this is a little song about that. And so if you're one of those people that felt that, then this song is for you. Southern baby, bow-tied big girl, wide-eyed new white shoes. Mama put my coat on, kissed me, and sent me off to school. For my first day at a new place, Daddy held my hand and walked me down the hallway. Then he waved and said they'll love you. But not all Southern girls are met with open doors. Some of us are looked down on before we're even born. Curls are too tight, skin is too dark to feel beautiful just as we are. a southern girl with the wrong kind of southern curls, with the wrong kind of southern curls. Newly 15, lipstick sneaking, mama's high-heeled shoes. Off to my first school dance, will I get my first kiss too? Was on cloud 9 till I heard my biggest crush tell me I'd have better luck with my own kind. And I cried 'cause I knew not all southern girls are met with open doors. Some of us are looked down on before we're even born. Curls are too tight, skin is too dark to feel beautiful just as we are. I'm a southern girl with the wrong kind of southern curls, with the wrong kind of southern curls. Wish I could tell the bow-tie girl that feels alone inside this world she's gonna be okay. The times are changing, but the world still tries to pull me down. I've had to fight to love myself. Sometimes it feels like I can't breathe. I fight so no one has to feel that anymore. "23 in Music City with dreams and high-heel boots, singing for a crowd of blue eyes. Will they want me to? But all those mean words that ruled my world don't make me feel like less than anymore, because I know that I glow and so do you. Not all southern girls are met with open doors, but all of us are beautiful from the moment we are born. Curls aren't too tight, skin ain't too dark. We are beautiful just as we are. We are southern girls with our own kind of southern curls, with our own kind of southern curls, with our own kind of southern curls.
Thank you. That was Southern Girls. There's a very cute video of me and my Mima. She's in the music video, so it's very sweet if you wanna watch it at any point. Okay, now to my surprise, the special guest that is gonna grace this stage. It is the one, the only, Lizzie No. Y'all are gonna feel this.
It is so rude of you to do all that you just did and then ask me to hold the guitar. God damn it, Julie Williams. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna come watch it. Thanks to all of you that are here. Julie Williams and Queen Esther. They were like, oh, we're gonna have a little hang and you can come play a couple songs. I wasn't prepared to be absolutely embarrassed and then have to get up and play. You know what? This one's just fine. The cool thing about Black Opry is we share everything. I'm Lizzie No. I'm so humbled to be here. The Black Opry is just kind of a lifesaver. I don't know about you, Julie, but we've all kind of been at it for a second, and there's been a lot of people that are like, I don't know if I relate to that song. I don't know why, but as I've been listening to the music tonight, I've been thinking about how, like, capitalists and their obsession with extracting every last drop of resource from the earth and efficiency from human potential is coming for all of us. And we're in a time where every day there's a new headline that's like, it's the end of the world now. Like you thought that shit was bad, this shit is bad. So, on May 27th, 1962, a coal fire ignited under the town of Centralia, Pennsylvania. It's still burning. As of 2017, there are 5 residents left. National Guard came through, evacuated everybody, but I want us all to sit here for a second and think about, if that was New York City, would you be one of the ones to stay? If you were one of the ones that left, how would you look at the world knowing you had already lived through the worst thing that could happen? This is Centralia. Do you want to watch the sun come up? Sitting in the weeds behind my house. Keep our eyes on the planes that fly too low, like we're aiming for the ground, aiming for the ground. Do you want to meet me in the middle? Centralia where the fire can't go out. Find our things exactly where we left them, burning underground, burning underground. And we'll make it out somehow. And the things that scared us half to death, they can't hurt us now. They can't hurt us now. 10 years I've been standing in the driveway, watching the grapevines eating up the road. And I made up my mind to pull the stakes up about a month ago, about a month ago. But you close your eyes and everything starts sinking. Listen to the crackle of the coal. And by the time you make it out your front door, the highway's just a hole, highway's just a hole. But you'll make it out somehow. And the things that scared you half to death, they can't hurt you now. They can't hurt you now. Everybody told me I was gonna know it was time to run. But I got cold feet in the cool of the morning when I saw the black smoke rising up, and we'll make it out somehow. And the things that scared us half to death, they can't hurt us now. They can't hurt us now. Do you want to meet me in the middle? Centralia where the fire can't go out. Find our things exactly where we left them, burning underground, burning underground, burning underground, burning underground. Thank you. Maybe I'll do one more. Are you going to come back up and sing again? You're going to come sing again. Okay, she will. Is there really a live stream going on? There is. Guys, I'm from another time. I know you guys are at Jalopy, so you probably feel the same way, but I'm like, there's a screen, someone's got their phone on, and maybe Holly G is watching. I want to dedicate a song to you, Julie, because the solo tour is not a fucking joke, and especially when you're a woman, and especially when you're a woman of color, and especially when you're a working person that can't get a fancy hotel room every night. It's a lot of balancing up how much did you make that day, and how much are you gonna have to spend on feeding yourself and keeping yourself safe. And I just applaud you for bringing your stories and your truth and your beauty and your melodies all over the country. It takes courage, even in this modern age. Mm-hmm. I've been in a little pain of my own design. Here at the pity party weeks on end. I've been staying up too late, drinking cheap red wine. Looking through my phone for the name of an old friend. Nothing's gone the way I planned. I've been all over, all over. I keep working harder than I can, starting all over and over and over again. My mind always wandered off when I tried to pray. I was daydreaming of standing on my own. Grow your ego tall enough to give you a little shade. Then don't complain when it blocks out the sun. Nothing's gone the way I planned. I've been all over, all over. I keep working harder than I can, starting all over and over and over again. Every time I play my songs for a couple of friends, it lights a match for dark times to come. Every day I manage not to throw the towel in. It's counted in my favor in the long run, yeah. Nothing's gone the way I planned. I've been all over, all over. I keep working harder than I can, starting all over and over and over again. I've been in a little pain of my own design. Here at the pity party weeks on end.
No, I want you to stay right there. Well, and Queen Esther, if you want to as well. Yeah. Well, I was hoping that y'all could help me on one of my songs and then a song that's not my song. Very much not my song, and you'll know what I mean when I play it. But these are going to be the last two ones, and I thought if we could do in like the Black Opry spirit. Something about black. Oh, I know. Yes. Okay. One. Wait. Please give it up for Queen Esther again. And for Lizzie. No.
This one said she wanted a black girl night. She did. And I was like, how can we make that happen? And
What are we doing?
she did. She did it.
Speak
Woo!
it.
Speak it. You spoke it.
No, y'all did it, and Holly, if Holly is watching out there,
Yes.
she also did it as well.
Hi, Holly.
Hi, Holly. Hi, Tanner. If they're out there, they did it as
they're out
well. So this one I want to do. This one's one of mine. It's called Sugarcoat. Yes, it's a song about when you run into your ex or you run into a coworker that you hate. We all have those. Mine's Brian. Everyone on 3, say yours. No, just kidding. But yeah, it's a song that when you run into that person, you could be having the worst day of your life, but to that person, you're having the best day. You're gonna sugarcoat your life. You're gonna say that you won the lottery, that you got engaged, that you're on your first solo tour. You're only gonna say the good things. You're not gonna say that you spent 7 hours in Charlotte Airport because you left something on the plane and then you cried to many people and it didn't work. You're not gonna say that part of tour. You're just gonna be like, I'm on stage with my sisters having the best time.
I'm blazing away, Brian.
Exactly. So this song is about that. Look at me now, Brian. I know. So this one has a little bit of participation, which is why I brought them up, and I'm hoping that you all can participate as well. The lines are very easy. It's shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Can y'all say that? Shoulda, coulda. Amazing. So I want to try something that I've never tried before, but I think that y'all can be the audience to do it. Oftentimes it's a call and repeat. I say shoulda, coulda, woulda, and then the audience goes shoulda, coulda, woulda, but there's space for a third. So I'm thinking I say shoulda, coulda, woulda first, then y'all say shoulda, coulda, woulda second, and then y'all say shoulda, coulda, woulda third. So let's practice. So I'm gonna go shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Oh, perfect. Okay, it's gonna work. Okay, I'll let you all know when the part of the song's gonna happen. You're gonna hear me say shoulda, coulda, woulda once for the first time. That's not when you come in. It'll be very clear. I'm gonna be like, this is the time to sing. I mean, you can sing at any time. I don't think you know the song, but if it really moves you, you can sing as well. Just let it out, yeah. So if y'all can help me on that part, and then I don't know if you want to just do anything. A little ooh la la, a little sha-la-la, a little. As you can see, this is very much not rehearsed at all. Anyway, let's just go for it. Falling out of bed at 3 p.m. Praying for the rain to cancel my plans. Talking to my coffee about last night. I don't think I'm in the mood for another night. Running into you on faded lights. Pretending that you didn't just break my heart. I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Told my friends I just need some sleep. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Put away your photo while I drink. I tell my friends it's not that bad. I tell myself I'm not that sad. I'm over it. So if I see you out again, play pretend, getting ready, putting on my sugar coat so I don't feel the cold. Putting on my sugar coat, sipping on gin and rose so you won't sing me blue. When I run into you, I'm putting on my sugar coat. Watermelon gin, it pulls me in. For a second I forget your candy kiss. Riding on the wave of sugar high. I see you in the corner with your friend, hanging with the girl that you just met. Boy, you don't deserve to see me cry. Not tonight. I won't let you bring me down, 'cause boy, you don't deserve it. I won't let you see me hurting. Here I am back again, flipping it, putting on my sugar coat so I don't feel the cold. Putting on my sugar coat, sipping on gin and rose so you won't sing me blue. When I run into you, I'm putting on my sugar coat. Woo! Okay, this is the part. I know, I get really stressed when there's call and response and I don't know when to end. So that's why I like to tell people. I'll tell you when to end too, yeah. Okay, now we're starting. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Oh yes! Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. last one. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Putting on my sugar coat so I don't feel the cold. Putting on my sugar coat, sipping on gin and rose so you won't see me blue when I run into you. I'm putting on my sugar coat, putting on my sugar coat so I don't feel the cold. Putting on my sugar coat, sipping on gin and rose so you won't see me blue when I run into you. I'm putting on my sugar coat, I'm putting on my sugar coat, oh, putting on my sugar coat. Every time I come to New York and I'm like, I'm moving to Brooklyn.
That's it. No, she's moving to Harlem.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I do love the upper, near Central Park and stuff.
Gonna take her there.
Yeah, we're going to a little speakeasy, everything. Yeah, no, every time I move, I look and then I go and I'm like, apartments in New York. And then,
Don't do that. though.
yeah, and then I'm like, never mind.
Can't do that.
Yeah, I love my $600 rent in Nashville, you know. Yeah,
Yes, you do.
I do.
Now I'm
I do.
upset.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much. I realize I have been saying y'all's name wrong the whole time. It's jalopy, isn't it? It's jalopy? I've been saying jalopy, so I've been way off. But as soon as you had just said that, what was that?
A jalopy.
A jalopy.
In common black parlance, that would be a hoopty. Right? I'm backing away from the
Anyway, well, thank you to this theater for creating this space, for giving us a stage for these moments to happen up here. I know. Thank you all so much, and thank you for being here. We've got one little surprise, one last one. This as well. We haven't rehearsed. I'll do first, second, and then.
Oh my gosh, you wrote down the lyrics?
I wrote the do you not? I thought you said you knew the second verse.
That's not the one I know, but I know a second verse.
Exactly.
Maybe look at this. We'll just sort of compare.
I can give you my yeah.
What did you do with the lyrics?
I ate them.
That's the second one. That's perfect. That's exactly what you're gonna sing.
That's the one I know. You'll give me a link when it's time.
If I didn't see this, I'd know it. You know what I mean?
There's one thing about black women, it's we're gonna collaborate.
We are.
Right?
We're gonna
I'm just making sure I don't forget the guitar on this one. Not that I
listen to
haven't
black
played
women,
this
but
many
don't listen
times.
so closely that you notice if they get the words wrong.
That's true.
To us at the voting booth, listen with kindness at the jalopy.
Exactly.
I think that's, I like that. Oh my gosh, yeah. Be kind.
Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song.
Swap it out, honey.
Does anyone remember the first line?
I got you.
Ah, yes.
I heard he sang a good song. I heard he had a style. And so I came to see him, to listen for a while. And there he was, this young boy, stranger to my eyes, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. I felt all flushed with fever, embarrassed by the crowd. I felt he read my letters, read each one out loud. I prayed that he would finish, but he just kept right on, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song.
He sang as if he knew me in all my dark despair. And then he looked right through me as if I wasn't there. And he just kept on singing, singing clear and strong, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song.
Pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song.
Thank you all so much. Have a great night.
Thank you.